Growing up in Orlando, Florida, Nick was a bright, vibrant kid. But in 2010, his parents started noticing small changes in Nick that would turn out to be signs of a big problem.
It was probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and he said, it feels like my back's broken.
Uh-oh.
We went to get blood work. And on the way home, they called and said, you need to rush him to the hospital.
Oh, no.
Dr. Selsky sat down, and he had said, Nicholas has leukemia.
Oh, my God.
It was like getting punched in the face.
Yeah, it's not anything you want to hear.
I thought I was just gonna be fine.
He did a lot of chemo. And
That's like every parent's worst nightmare.
That has to hurt so bad, not just as a kid, but for the parents.
He was throwing up nonstop.
That's awful.
Always feel sick. You never really felt good when you're going through chemo.
He would,
I couldn't imagine being that young and going through such a harsh illness.
and that was one of the first times I think we realized the power of his love for Star Wars.
Yes. Okay, Star Wars can cure anything.
We put it as, okay, cancer's the dark side. To him, he was a Jedi.
That's awesome.
That's such good parenting. I love
It
it.
also helped to give him strength to fight it.
We did 2 years of treatment. 2 years he didn't go to school.
He was almost done, and that's when he relapsed. It was like, you get one more dose of hardcore chemo, and if this doesn't work, then, there's nothing we can do for you except for to make you comfortable until you go.
Dang, that's crazy. That has to be so scary just to say, if we have one more try, this doesn't work, we're just gonna wait for you to die.
My mom had cancer, and so seeing I had to stay at the hospital so many nights and watch her go through chemo, and seeing that, it's like reliving it in a way.
With Abigail, I loved being pregnant. When I had Andrew, it was so different. He was not moving around like my previous pregnancy. The doctor came in and said, "You've got pancreatic cancer."
Dang.
She had stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Oh my God.
1 in 6 actually survived 1 year.
I felt doomed.
Wow.
I would sit there and I would picture my children and my husband and them moving on.
Oh my God. I can't imagine being pregnant and then finding that out.
It's just an awful thing to think about, to be leaving so early and missing everything.
So statistically, there's expected to be almost 600,000 cancer deaths this year alone in the U.S.
Jesus.
But thankfully for Nick and Elizabeth, they join another statistic, the survivors. We're going to show you some more from them now.
Awesome.
Yay!
When Elizabeth walked in, we had some confidence that we had some new tools. What she is receiving is a chemotherapy treatment, as targeted as we can make it.
Every time I would get a scan, everything kept looking better. I was shocked that they're talking about radiation and surgery.
It probably feels so much better to actually get good news for
That
once.
was ever gonna happen. On March 28th, they removed the tail of the pancreas.
May 5th was the follow-up to her surgery, when the doctor came in, said, everything's fine.
That's so great.
He told me I was boring, and that was the best.
It's probably a good thing if you're boring to a doctor.
If I hadn't been pregnant with Andrew, they might have never found the cancer until it was too late. I tell him he's my angel.
That's incredible.
That's crazy. I'm glad there's another part to her story. Everything is for a reason. Still believe in that statement.
Dr. Selsky came in and said, there's a study that you can go into. The problem is that you got to be there tomorrow.
Nick was placed on a clinical trial, assembled and funded by the Stand Up to Cancer St.
Yeah, Stand Up to Cancer. I'm familiar with that organization. They're great.
Collaboration funds cutting-edge research in the field of immunotherapy.
About a week after they did the infusion, I started to feel good. I thought something had gone right.
Absolutely, 100%. It saved his life.
He's like a normal kid now. That's crazy.
These days, Nick is back to his old life.
Nick is a poster child for the promise of research and the power.
Yeah, medical research is amazing nowadays, what they can do.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from everybody who knows Nicholas, from everybody who's going to meet him for the rest of his life.
Charities. Some people think charities do nothing, but here it is. Here's the proof right here.
It's these organizations that just make me feel so good because it's like they really put their money and effort into just finding cures for diseases.
It's so heartwarming to see all of that. But I mean, the unfortunate part is that there are so many more cases that need to be treated.
What kinds of thoughts do you get when you see the stories of these people?
To see these type of stories, it's weird. This could have been me.
I just feel absolutely horrible and very empathetic towards the families. Cancer is just an awful thing.
Sadly, these stories are not unique and they're not
uncommon. So it's important for that person who's going through that to know that they're not alone.
For someone who, like, let's say someone just got diagnosed, they can see these videos and say, you know, it'll be bad, but it can get better.
I just appreciate being here. Everyone just needs to, like, take a second sometimes just to appreciate everything they have, whether that be a little bit or a lot.
Unfortunately, it seems like cancer has affected almost everyone in one way or another. Has your life been affected by cancer at all?
Personally, no, but like I know I have a lot of relatives who have dealt with stuff.
My grandma had cancer, I want to say like a couple years ago.
My great-grandma and then my grandma have had cancer before. They both lived, though.
My godbrother's husband's mother, she had breast cancer. She survived, persevered, still alive with us today.
With my mom going through it, it was just kind of like having to relive all of that. The good thing with her, though, was that it was like really early, so even from the beginning, there wasn't any, they were like, no, it'll like 99.9% she'll be cured. It's just like that initial feeling of like having to be sat down and told like, you know, I'm sick, I have cancer. Your stomach just kind of drops.
I actually lost my grandfather to cancer 8-9 years ago. I lost him so early, like I barely have any memories with him because I was so young, and so it's just awful.
So what both of these stories had in common was the intervention of the charitable organization Stand Up to Cancer, whose mission is to raise funds to accelerate the pace of groundbreaking research that can get new therapies to patients quickly and save lives now. Is this an organization you've heard of before?
I've never heard of this organization, but I'm happy that it exists.
I have, yeah. I've seen a couple commercials for it.
At the hospital that my mom was treated at, they had like posters and ads there. They provide funding for new research.
Stand Up to Cancer uses 100% of donations to help fund research to combat cancer. Do you think it's important, if you are able to donate to organizations like this?
I definitely think it's important.
Definitely, that if you can, you really should. Any amount really helps.
It doesn't have to be $200, it could be $5. And that might not seem like a lot, but you know, don't get your Starbucks that morning and donate $5 to a cancer research fund.
Even if like right now, it's like cancer's not affecting you or anybody you know, like, you never know when it could happen.
You can't do it on your own because you don't have a job. Like me, I don't have a job. You can always go out and like raise money from other people. So fundraising is always a great way. You might look into, they have volunteer work because they might have events that are built for fundraising. You can go volunteer at those events.
You can always talk about the organization, tell your friends, you know, even tell your school.
The cure for all these cancers is there. It's just, someone just needs to see it in a different perspective and find it. People don't realize, like, they're like, oh, like, my penny's not gonna make it. It's just a penny. But if everyone in the world was like, oh, it's just a penny, and then they donated it, that's a lot of money.
Do you think it's important for people and shows that have an audience to discuss organizations like this one?
Yeah, I think it's important.
It's definitely important because I didn't know about it before.
This is how you bring funding to such great organizations that are gonna do these super cool things for cancer patients.
By everyone talking about it, it gets around, people know about it, they hear what a great cause it is, they can donate, they can help, they can volunteer, they can do whatever.
We have this platform with so many millions of viewers and subscribers, so if we just get, you know, these names circulating and these ideas circulating, that could really go somewhere.
Finally, what would you want to say to anyone watching this episode who may be battling cancer or other diseases?
Just always have hope and know that you're not alone and you have family and friends and even people that you don't know, like me, that we care about you.
You can never lose hope. You just need to stay positive and really fight, don't give up, and you can get through it.
You are so strong, and even if you don't feel like you are or it doesn't seem like it, you have so much power within you.
I can't imagine what these people are going through, and you know, it breaks my heart. There's just so many people who are praying for these people to pull through because it affects more than just the person going through it. It's the loved ones, and I don't know, it's just so important to stay positive.
You're already a strong person, and I can't believe you're going through this, but just the fact that these organizations are out here, I hope you feel a little safer and a little bit that there's hope out there, because there is.
Thanks for watching this important episode of Teens React.
Please donate if you're able to, it'd help a lot. The links are down below.
Spread the word however you can, and join all of us in standing up to cancer.